What's good, everybody? Welcome back to EQ Live. I'm your host, of course, EQ, and tonight we're getting into something that most men never say out loud. The episode is called How I Look, and we're having a real conversation about male insecurities around self image, the pressure to look a certain way, carry yourself a certain way, and never let anybody see you sweat. We're pulling the curtain back on all of it. And I couldn't ask for a better person to do this with. My guest tonight is Greg Bristol, known to a lot of you as G. He's a Bahamian content creator and hospitality professional who's built a real voice in the digital space here in the Caribbean. He tells the kinds of stories that make adventure and the good life feel attainable. But tonight, we're going past the highlight reel. We're talking about what's really going on underneath the image. So pull up, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Greg, welcome
Thank
to
you.
EQ Live, man.
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure to be here. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, I will be the first to admit I don't know you, right? I know you through social media. I think, honestly, prior to tonight, I would have met you in person maybe once or twice. I remember CreatorCon, you were there. But for those who may not be familiar with you, kind of like me, let me know a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Greg. I started content creating about 3 years ago. I got into the space after a friend kind of pushed me. It was like, hey, I love your stuff. Well, actually, I travel a lot. I just do a lot of traveling, just everyday living. And she would always tell me I would be great on, social media if I started posting my content. And so I started posting my travels and my journeys. And one day I was homesick. I was sick like a dog. COVID. And I was like, you know what? Let me just give this TikTok thing a try. And I've been trying to avoid TikTok for the longest. I know what that rabbit hole was like because I was in that Twitter era when you on Twitter up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning with celebrities, cursing celebrities out. And I promised myself I was not going to allow myself to get into TikTok. And one day I was just home. I uploaded a couple of videos and they got some reactions. And I was like, all right, you know what? Maybe this is kind of something I could be interested in. And then it really didn't start until I did the my Tesla video when I did the Tesla brunch, and that blew up. And I was like, okay, hold on, people want to see more of this, and people must like me. So that's where it started from, and then over the years, it just evolved into me being now sitting here talking about this hair transplant. So it's been a fun journey. It's been a fun journey. I'm still new to the space and still learning and still creating with all my fellow creators. So yeah. That's about it.
So if we were to narrow down, because I mean, you mentioned a couple of things, travel, you mentioned food, all very topical content stuff. But if you were to kind of, I guess, categorize the type of content that you do, what would you call it?
I would say lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
I love to experience new things. I love to bring people along with my experiences. I learned that through this journey so far, I've been introducing the Bahamian audience to a lot of new places and a lot of new things. And it's been exciting for me to be able to share that. As you can see with doing my solo travels to the DR or even like say going to Turkey and whatnot. And it's so crazy because I had someone walk up to me the other day and she's like, hey, I didn't even know what Turkey was until I saw your video. So for me, being able to share those experiences in my lifestyle, and because this is my everyday, literally my everyday. You see me going out to eat, this and that. This is what I do every day. And just sharing it in a light where it feels like people can enjoy it and do the same thing as me. I don't believe in gatekeeping. So that's what's important for me, being able to share the lifestyle, to show other Bahamians that you can go out there. You ain't got to go just in Miami. Go a little further.
You could drive a little bit.
You go to
it's
okay.
Florida.
It's okay to go a little further.
Right.
It's okay. Yeah.
Interesting. And so, what were you doing like before? I mean, and forgive me if I should know but don't know. But are you full time into content creation? Do you have a 9 to 5? How do you?
I got a 9 to 5. So for me, full time. Hats off to all the full time creators out there because this is a job within itself. Because when I work, so how my schedule is, I work 9 to 6, get off, try to fit the gym in. I got around 6 from like 6:30 to about 7:30, get home. At this time you get off, you don't been to work all day. So the only thing I want to do is just wind down.
Right.
But at this point, I get home, wind down a little bit, start editing content. So that runs me up until 12 o'clock at night, start my day all over. So again, being a full-time creator is difficult. with being a content creator now in my space now and being having a full-time job is difficult. So yeah, I do work. Definitely I
Yeah,
work.
no, that's cool, man. And so, I mean, I'm always curious to find out. Have you ever ran into any problems with your employee with regards to some of the stuff that you post, or when you go to work, they look at you like, "Gee,
Yeah,
really?"
you know what?
Like, stuff like that.
People love it. People love it, and everyone's been supportive of me. And every day, people discovering that, oh, I work with you. So it's always a time when someone stops you. He's like, oh, I just saw you last night on TikTok, or I just saw you this morning. And I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, you sure? Me? So for me, it always feels new every single time because again, I don't ever go out expecting people to know who I am. So it's always, if you see me, I stop. I take the time to speak, get to know you, ask your name. I always love to have that interaction because the fact that you came up and said, hello, I see your stuff, I enjoy your content, that's big for me. So I always take the time to get to know people anywhere I go, that anytime anyone stops me.
Nice. And so now, you're doing content. Like, what is the goal? Is it that I mean, I don't know if you are monetized, if you aren't monetized. Is the goal to really now say, okay, well, I want to build, the Greg and Bristol brand
Yeah.
into household? Like, what's the plan with regards to
Yeah.
like, and why do you keep doing it? I know you said you want to, share your experiences
Yeah.
with other people, but like what's the why and what's the end game?
So it's funny you asked that because I am currently working on some major moves right now in the next couple of months. But the end game is to really I love doing this content. I love it. I love the experience. I love to be able to again share my life and share my experiences with people. So for me, ultimately, I want to make sure my brand, that G brand, extends a bit further. So I'm working on a few projects coming up that I will be sharing soon with everybody. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. But at the end of the day, again, I want to keep my name relevant and whatever it is that I'm doing, because I feel like for me, I realize I could sell anybody brand. So why not sell my own? You know what I mean?
No, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. And so, I mean, mine is, I wouldn't say a similar story, but I recently, I'm in the media space. I have a media company and I have an awesome team. And I think I'd say maybe about 2, 3 years ago as well, really decided to take my personal brand a bit more seriously. I love I look at what my wife's been able to do with her brand,
Yeah.
the Bowflex Barbie, not just in the fitness
amazing,
space,
yeah.
but lifestyle space. And, I like to think that I helped out with that a little bit. I mean, she don't take them pictures herself all the time.
Oh boy.
But I often kid that I started my media company because I didn't want no dudes taking pictures of her, right?
Hey, fair. That's fair. That is
So-
fair. She's a beautiful lady, so I understand.
Yeah. But I really understand the power of brand, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and really, in this day and age, especially, and it's a buzz topic, and I was just talking about it earlier this morning. But like with AI and so many things happening, it's like, being able to really solidify and build your personal brand, I think is the
Yeah.
really the best thing you can do. Not even just as a content creator. I think
Yeah.
as a professional, as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so, I really took to that quite seriously over the last little bit. And I have my podcast, Really Cute Podcast.
Right.
I have EQ Live, which is a monthly live series, and it's really just so. For me, and it's kind of selfish because I like to bring people on my platform who I actually admire and who I actually want to have a conversation with.
Yeah.
And it's less creepy than kind of stalking them and be like, hey, let's go, let's
for
go
a
drinks.
drink.
However, if I say, hey, come on my live, it's like,
Yeah,
okay, that
okay.
makes sense.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
less
you did it right.
creepy.
You did what you had to do. I
So-
appreciate that.
So, but like I said, I came across you. I think maybe about last year, and I was impressed. I was like, it always gets me when I see Bahamians doing, and it's kind of sad,
Mm-hmm.
but like when I see Bahamians doing things at what I feel is a global standard,
Right.
I wouldn't say I'm surprised, but it's refreshing. And I
yeah.
look at your content, and I honestly think your content can stand on a global stage, right?
Yeah,
And
I
so
appreciate that.
I do hope that global brands reaching out, but
Yeah.
it's just the style and the pacing and the mixture of comedy and it's like, but it really feels, and it's kind of cringy for me to say it because people say it, but it really feels authentic, right? Because
Yeah.
people have been throwing around that word authenticity a lot,
Yeah.
but I really feel it's genuine. Like I really feel it's you. And even now, before we were rolling with the cameras, it's like it didn't disappoint because you are who you present yourself to be.
Yeah.
And that's always refreshing because you feel as okay, well, wow, this is the real person, this
Yeah,
isn't an act.
definitely.
And I really feel as though that comes across in your content. So kudos to you for that, man.
Thank you, and yeah, and that's important for me. Always feeling relatable to everyone. Again, people look at your content or look at me and they create their own picture and image of who they think I am. But everyone that knows me knows like this is just my life. Like literally everything that you see is what you get when it comes to me. I love to have a good time. I love to go shopping in LA or Rodeo or whatever. Yeah, but you can see me in the crab pen too. You can see me in Andres with my Grammy fishing. So I always want to feel relatable and to everyone. So for me is making sure that people feel like they can attain that because a lot of men out there watching and hence us having this conversation right now and what I'm doing or what I did with the hair transplant, I never thought it would have ended up to this. You know what I mean? But I'm happy that this is where we're at because we could have this discussion and even getting ready for this tonight, I was like, boy, I was in the mirror literally saying like how I look, I straight, I look good.
How I look,
so
yeah.
I literally was saying that,
Yeah.
so I'm so happy that we are having this conversation because again, I don't feel like we have a safe space.
Right.
We don't have that as men here. And it's kind of, I would say it's kind of sad for us because we're expected to be, men, we're expected to have this amount of money. We're expected to have this height. We expect to have muscles or this type of body or perfect skin or whatever the case may be. The things that social media sells you as well, right? And that's not a reality for everybody, and it's okay to not feel confident all the time.
Right.
So for me, even going through this process now with my hair transplant, I can honestly tell you it's not been as easy as I make it appear sometimes. But it has not been easy.
Now,
honestly.
see, listen now, Greg, this is my show, right? I trying to pace it. I don't
Oh,
give
got you,
everybody
I got you,
everything
I got
one
you,
time.
I got
That's
you,
not
I
the
got
third
you, I
time
got
you
you.
talk about this hair
Oh, Lord,
transplant thing.
sorry,
We can
I'm
get
sorry.
this. See, listen, I got what my creative team
I
is
got
called
you.
the story arc.
Yeah, let's
I'm
go.
trying to find out what you was doing,
Yeah,
what
what
you
he's
is doing, and now, but no, but really, that's really what led me or inspired me to really reach out to you.
Right.
Was that, but I think, and that's why I kind of wanted to set the foundation within the content, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, and I know for me, like, so I remember somebody say, well, Ethan, you only have, like 90 something, not even 100 people watching your videos, but you consistent.
Right.
And I was like, well, I don't really chase the viewers.
Right.
I post and I create content for me. I share my story, I share my experiences. I do feel that I have value to add.
Yeah.
And, if those 96 people, I think I get a little couple hundred now, but if those 96 people feel as though I add value to them, to me, that's a win,
Yeah, that's
right?
a win, yeah.
And so my focus is on just sharing my truth, sharing my experiences with the hope that it resonates with somebody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been getting feedback, and people have been telling me offline and online, what this meant, what that meant. And also is one of those same things, I had on my podcast, I had Harrison Thompson on the show, and we were talking about, same thing, that there's no safe space for men, right? Because
Yeah.
men have this thing that they have to be this rock all the time.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about that. But I go that way to say that the only way I would have known about your story with your hair transplant is because of your content. And so I am very interested in, and I think I can ask you it in two parts. One, what inspired you to share? And then like what was transpiring? Like, I mean, hair transplants and just to kind of give context, like I recently underwent some extensive dental surgery, right? Like
Right.
dental work. Like I'm talking about crazy. But mine was more like, all right, like this is a medical thing for me
Okay.
as well, right?
Yeah.
So it was cosmetic, but there's a heavy medical component. But I'm very interested in knowing like what were you what was the ultimate thing that led you to decide that, okay, well, I want to do this hair transplant? Like, is balding something going, like hair loss something
Yeah.
in your family? And then at what point were you like, okay, well, this may be a viable thing? Like, kind of talk me through that entire journey of, even from mother said she had I'm losing my hair.
Yeah.
Like, so talk me through that a little bit.
So it first started, this was years ago. I was probably like 25 or 26, and I was getting a haircut. And something you never want to hear your barber say, you bald in. That was the first strike right there. And I will never forget that moment. He was like, Greg, you know you balding, right? And I was like, no, but I ain't balding. What you talking about? He was like, yeah, right in the middle there. I was like, okay, I left it alone. Years later, I was at work, and one of my coworkers, she was like, Greg, you know you balding, right? And I was like, you sure? So that those two instances, I to this day I will never forget. And they didn't say it in a way that they were trying to, embarrass me or anything like
Right.
that. But they were just letting me know, because she was telling me like she looks at her boyfriend hair all the time, and she always telling him like he's balding. So she just happened to look at mine and seeing that. So for me, it's always been in the back of my mind ever since then, because I would always, every time I'm in the mirror, I got a double mirror, I looking in the back to see, hold on, how this patch looking in the back
Right.
here. Because it really started from my crown area.
Okay.
So what I did, and then I realized then my hairline started to, fade a little bit too. So what I did a few years, in 2024 was it, I ended up going to get a SMP, which is a scalp micro pigmentation. That's where they tattoo the hairline. So I was like, all right, this might hold me over a little while longer. And I noticed as my hair grew out, my hairline went back even further. So I was like, hold on, like something is this happening too quick.
So is like, is balding something that's common in your family, or like, I don't, because honestly,
Yeah,
I coming from a place of straight up ignorance.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know, like, is that, I mean, because is it like hereditary? And
I can't say for sure because my dad's no longer here. Because I don't remember what my dad. I don't remember what my dad hairline. I mean, it was little. It was little dude. His hairline was little dude.
right.
But funny enough, people said that balding actually comes from the mother side, like your
Interesting.
mom's side. So I read. I'm not sure how true it is, but my mom hair looks fine. I mean, she have a little hair in there too, but I think it might just be hereditary, and also to it's also to something called DHT, which is DHT is in your hair follicle. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it causes you to lose hair even faster too. So I think for me, over the years, it just started happening slowly. And then I grew my hair out because I wanted to make sure that I was hiding that. So for me, at the time, I didn't notice how bad it was.
Mm.
And then what really made me so into context too, I've been researching this for the last 5-6 years now.
Okay.
I've been looking to see the best clinics in Turkey because I've seen it happen. It's been popping up because once you start searching something, every day you're gonna see it.
So
now, right?
you started researching hair transplants about 5 years. All right.
Yes.
So before we get to that,
Right.
so we're at the tattooed hairline,
Right.
and then you realize, okay, your hair's growing back. That's happening. So now at that point, like, what was your everyday like? I mean, because if you've been researching it for 5
Yeah.
years, like, how were you like navigating everyday life, knowing that, I guess, you're going bald, or
Yeah.
like how was that? Because I mean, I don't want to gloss over that, because
Right.
obviously there may be somebody watching this now who
Yeah.
may be challenged with actually navigating that,
Yeah.
right? And so, like, you recognize that, okay, well, yes, I am in fact balding. You do the tattooed hairline,
Yeah.
and then you realize, okay, well, how long did that last? Like, was that
Well, it's still here.
Okay.
So what I did is, like I said, I grew my hair out, and as I grew it out, I had to like manipulate my hair throughout every morning. I would spend about 20 to 30 minutes in the mirror every morning. I had like a plastic fork that I would take with some got to be what's it called? Some olive oil spritz that hardens up the area, and I would like use that fork and kind of like glue down like my actual hair onto my forehead to kind of give me like a density, full front look up in here at the hairline. And then in the middle, I used to kind of like pick it out use the fork as well and kind of just like pick out in the middle so it looks a little full. So those things, that was kind of the straw for me, because it was, even when I went to Exuma with the administrative tourism, in that on that trip, I had my hat on the entire time. It was to a point too that I was in the ocean drowning, and Kai was right there, and I had my hat on the entire time because I knew if this hat came off, that was it. And we had a media crew with us who had cameras. So if this had come off while I was in this water, that was gonna be it for me.
So was it a situation where you were in fact like trying to hide the fact that you're going bald,
Yeah.
but you were actually trying to hide the fact
Yes.
so nobody would recognize that
Right.
you were in fact going bald? Why that? Because I know I've had I know fellas growing up. And at one point I did it too, where I shave off my whole all my hair. But like, why wouldn't it been the other way, just to say, you know what, let me
Just go
embrace
bald?
it and just go bald?
I preferred the hair look.
Okay.
The hair look was more of me. I felt like it looked like me, and the ball look.
You got a bumpy head.
It ugly. My head ugly. I ain't got no pretty hair. I ain't got no pretty hair for no ball.
All
Now,
right.
mind you, people told me after the transplant, my head looks good ball. Looks good ball, but I don't.
You don't-
I'm not a fan of the bald head thing.
Right.
So-
and I mean, the title is, how I look, right?
Yeah.
And so ultimately it's
Yeah.
your own thing that you're dealing with. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to navigate, because trying to, picture the navigation, because I'm seeing you now with the comb trying to do that.
Not even the comb, the fork.
The plastic fork, right?
plastic fork.
And I get it, and I could only imagine. And like I said, so for me, the equivalent of that is, I remember when I first started, I was probably doing my dental journey maybe about 15, 16 years, right?
Oh,
I started out with a bridge, because and I guess we can get into dollars and cents, but dental work is expensive,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think this is something that we should mention, especially with men. As long as it moving, we can keep it moving.
Yeah.
The only time we can actually go and get something check out is if it's detrimental.
Yeah, you breaking it, you falling on the
and
floor.
I mean, I remember I got my so similar to you, in terms of with your fork and your olive oil spritz. My equivalent of that was Fix-A-Dent. Like I had a temp bridge that was supposed to be temp.
Okay.
And it used to keep slipping out. So I would go in the pharmacy and I would get Fix-A-Dent, like the dentures
Yeah,
thing.
that paste.
Right. And I would put it in, and that last for a couple of hours, and then I wouldn't smile. And, so it was a lot of stuff, but it was like, all right, well, I ain't toothless.
Right.
So I can
you
ride
can
this
ride-
until
you can ride it- you can ride this
I
out.
ride this till the wheels fall off.
Right.
And so, same thing, but I always wanted to get it done. But what the biggest challenge for me was, if I'm being honest, a part of the reason, it was so much of a financial commitment to get
Yeah.
my dental work done. And I didn't think that, for a long time, I battled with if I was actually worth it to make that investment in me. If my daughter wants something, daddy got
Yeah.
it. If my wife wants something, hubby got it. If I would always be like, no, I can,
You can
I
fix you later.
can get, I
you
can
can
get
fix
to
you
me
later.
later. And I think why I wanted to mention that is because I think a lot of times that's how a lot of men feel, right?
Yeah.
Like we could figure it out, because we could walk, we can patch it up, we can
Yeah.
fix it up, we can paint it up, and then we can keep it moving.
Yeah.
But
That's it later.
for the fellas out there, I want to tell you, you are worth it, but make the investment in yourself,
Yeah.
bro. Because other than that, you ain't no good to nobody if you ain't the best version of yourself. So take time, energy, efforts, and resources and invest in yourself. Right.
I agree.
So now, okay. So now, you made the decision. You're doing this research. Talk me through, when was the decision made that, okay, well, what was the process? Did you one day say, okay, well, you know what? I am definitely going to get a hair transplant. And then you started research, or it was like, let me see what options out there. Like,
Yeah.
talk me through now. I guess you recognize the problem, you're dealing with it, but now I'm deciding I'm going to do something about it. Like, talk me through that process.
Yeah. So, after, like I said, after having the S&P done,
What is, you saying SMP? What is that?
It's a scalp micropigmentation. That's a tattoo.
That's the tattoo.
Yeah, that's a
Scalp,
tattoo. Micro.
SMP,
Yeah.
scalp, micropigmentation.
Yes.
So what is that process? Like it's actually like
So yeah, literally they shave your head and they line you up and tattoo your head. It's literally just a tattoo, and it looks like follicles. So it looks better once it's it gives you a whole new hairline, but a tattooed hairline. So if you like the low cut look, it works better for a low cut look.
right. So like the like an actual
Like an
tattoo,
actual tattoo, like an actual tattoo.
and they do your whole head.
your whole head.
Okay, hold
Or-
on. Now.
you're right. Well-
yeah, let's talk through that. Because what I'm imagining, because these were I'm 43 and I just got my first set of tattoos last year.
What?
But I can't imagine. So like they shave your head
Yeah.
and you sitting on the chair and there's a tattoo artist.
There's a tattoo artist. He going straight across here, and also too, it all depends on how much you want done. So I just wanted my hairline done, and then I wanted my crown done. So I know men who've done the entire thing here because again, you want to it makes it appear as if you have the density. It gives you
Right.
density basically.
Okay.
So I just did, like I said, this area up in here and then in my crown. So I didn't need the full thing done, but it is a bit painful. You get used to it after the first hour because it was about a 2-hour procedure.
And where did you do that? Here?
I did it in Miami.
Miami?
But there is I seen there is a gentleman here now, Gino. I think his name is Gino. He does it as well. So he's done a couple of my friends, and they look pretty good. So if someone wants to get it done here, they could do it here. I'm not sure the cost of it here, but at the time I spent about $1,200 to
Okay.
get it done.
And so talk me through now. All right, you made the decision that you're going to essentially going to get your head tattooed.
Yeah.
Right. And so
And no one knew I did it
no one knew you did it.
until I did it. My mom, nobody knew.
Now, okay, so you went over.
Yep. As a
What
regular
you
trip.
go to Miami? I get
Yeah,
Walmart.
it's my birthday.
I get Target.
Yep.
Well, you don't do Target and Walmart. You
Yeah,
just
what?
do them,
I
you
love
do them
me.
fancy
What?
things.
I love me a little. What?
Yeah.
Walmart. Jeez,
So-
come on, man.
but you,
Del Aldi.
so this was a weekend trip or like just a
This was
regular?
my birthday trip.
Birthday
I actually
trip.
was on my way to LA. So I was in Miami for a couple of nights, and before heading to LA, I did it.
But you planned before so you knew
Yes,
that this
yeah.
is what this
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the intention.
yeah.
And so you're in Miami in your hotel room the day before you go to get this thing. What's
Soon as
going
I
through your
landed.
mind? Soon as you landed, you gone straight.
I was like, "Buddy, are you ready? Let's go." I text the guy. He was like, "You ready too? Let's go." Because I think I had a 1 p.m. appointment that day.
Okay.
No, I lied. No, I lied. It was the next day because I landed the day before, and it was first thing the next morning because I was going to LA that day.
Later that day.
Right, and I had to avoid the sun and all that. Yeah, it's crazy. But that's it. The next day, I went there. He shaved my head, and that was
And 2 hours
it.
later, you
2
had
hours,
hairline.
2 hours later, I had a new hairline.
So now, all right. So 2 hours later, you had a hairline. You look at yourself in the mirror for the first time after getting this SMP done.
Yeah,
What's going through your mind?
you look good.
Yeah.
You look good.
How I look?
I was ready to go outside.
Nice.
Outside. You hear me? I look good. I mean, it was still a little bit swollen, but I saw the vision of what I wanted,
Right.
and what I remember my hairline looking like. So it was definitely worth it.
And how did that feel, bro? Like looking at that.
Confidence, that
Yeah.
confidence there, that was amazing. That was a really good time. I looked at my phone like last week. I have about 18 snaps of me that one day, just all in the mall,
Yeah.
everywhere. So that was a good feeling.
Awesome. No, I love that for you. All right. So now we've done. So what was the time period between actually getting the SMP done and then I guess the decision that I'm going to do the full
hair
on
transplant.
right? And so and I guess we can get into what it is exactly, but like, what was the timeline between that? And then it's like, okay, well, was it like, okay, well, I did that, and so now this is like phase 2, or this is level up, or I need a better solution? Like,
Yeah.
what was the
Yeah.
catalyst there?
So I did it in 2024, and after I keep saying, and after it kind of calmed down a little bit, I was like, something still don't feel right. Because as my hair started to grow out, I'm still like, it started to shit. It's not before I figured out to do the whole comb method, I was just still struggling with my hair so you could have seen the transplant, not transplanted, the tattoo,
Right.
and then my actual hair was back here. So if I would go out in public, sometimes I would fix it before I leave, and I would realize like, hey, it kind of like pushing back again. So that's when I came up with the comb and the fork and
Right.
the glue method. And when I would go in like if I would go in the pool or something like that, all of that work would
Gone.
just be gone, and I'm like, I gotta get something. And then what even more so, I started doing content. I'm like, okay, I'm in media now. Like I in front of cameras, and when you're in front of cameras, people judge every single thing.
Yeah.
And for me, I I swore everyone was looking at my hair. So I was like, I got to do something about this. And that's what really made me really like went down searching real hard, because when I started searching for clinics, a lot of times not a lot of times, a lot of the clinics would show you European models, and you would never see people that look like us. And because our hair is so unique,
Right.
and we require a special type of a system for us. And so making sure I found that the right clinic was important for me. So during that time, it was about in November of last year, I came across the clinic that I went to, Heva, and that's when I realized like, oh, okay, they seem like they know what they're doing. I took a month of research, and at the end of that month, I was locked in. I was like, hey, this is what I got to do. Locked in for this year.
I do want to kind of go right back, but all right. So when you got the SMP done, you was
Right.
like, all right, I look good, I feel good. What was the reaction from, like you said, your family, friends, coworkers? Was it something? Was it kind of like, Greg, something looked different about you, or they didn't notice?
They didn't know.
They didn't notice
know.
at all.
No. A lot of people might be hearing this for the first time. My friends don't even know I did it.
Ah,
So a lot of people don't know. Only like my mom, my aunt, like close people
right,
knew that I did it. But other than that, I was just living my life as regular.
right.
So, and that was the beauty of it, because I felt good, and
Right.
I was able to just rock it as normal, and no one was looking at me in the side eye because it looked like my hairline. So no one knew.
So, okay, so why, and I mean, I kind of maybe jumping ahead or back, I don't
Mhm.
know, but why the decision to really be open and share about your hair transplant versus the SMP? Like, what was different about that? I mean, I imagine that maybe it was a bit more of an extensive procedure and all,
Yeah.
but like, why? Okay, well now I'm going to share with the world that I'm doing this thing or that I've done this thing versus back then sharing.
Yeah. At that time, like for me, I wasn't big in social media.
Okay,
then,
all right.
So at this time now, again, I am a local
You want the
content creator.
platform,
I have a
right.
platform, and I know once I did this procedure, I had to make sure that I shared it first. Because once people see me, you know how people go. They see my head looking like this, they gonna wonder what's wrong. Because I already have an image of what people see me with my high hair. And all my previous videos, you know me to have hair and to look a certain way. So I said the minute, and that's the crazy part about it too, because it was a very rough period for me at the point when I first booked the procedure. After I booked the procedure, I was excited, and then an hour or two later, I was like, wait, what am I gonna do? People are gonna see me,
Right.
because I got to go through this recovery process, and I had to build up over the last few months prior to releasing the video on how I was gonna share it and how I was gonna react, or how to just cope with what's gonna come afterwards.
Right.
So that was a really crazy time for me, because I felt so much different emotions. Like, what am I gonna do? What are people gonna say?
Right.
But then I had to remember too, why am I doing? I'm doing this for me.
Yeah.
And then also I'm doing it for people out there that wants to get it done. Because again, we suffer in silence as men, and as women too, but we suffer in silence. And for me, this was one of those things that I knew once people saw me doing it, they would be more confident and more comfortable to do it as well.
All
So
right.
that
All right.
was really
No, that's and I agree with you 120%, which
Yeah.
is why I decided to just share what I shared about my journey, and I just did it. I did it slightly different. I actually did it as a vlog,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was vlogging because I had started vlogging, and then once I decided that this is what I was going to do, I literally was just release it on the vlog.
Yeah.
And it's funny because one of my team members who actually handles distribution for my content, you know, she was like, it was kind of weird seeing you with no teeth.
Now I gotta go back and watch that. I gotta go watch it. I'm gonna go
but
watch
like
it.
it's like legit, and then
Yeah.
it's like, but I could relate to that. I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I know we lie, so I can't case, but it's like F them, right?
Right,
Because like
right,
the reality
right.
is that I'm doing this for me, and that matters, and this is my truth. Like
Yeah.
and I share that. All right, so now we've done the research. What and you ultimately decide on the clinic that you went because you're confident that they know how to handle nappy hair. I don't know if your hair
Oh.
nappy, but they know how to handle
Our
our
textured,
textured,
textured
hair, right? And
Our
so,
unique
our unique
textured
texture.
hair.
And so now you go over, or like talk me through, like you said, you booked, and then a couple hours you was like, hold on, how did you navigate that immediate? I wouldn't necessarily call it buyer's remorse, but now that immediate realization that, okay, well, wow, people are actually going to see me through this recovery process.
Right.
Like, did you ever think, man, I can just go down to Andros for a while, a couple months, or like, how did you now navigate that?
I had to really, really talk myself through it. I had to really remind myself exactly why I did this and look at the bigger picture of it to know that, hey, Greg, once you do this, if it's one person that you help, that's enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had to really, because again, after I booked it, and I'm talking to my medical consultant, and I'm excited, and like literally like an hour or two later, I'm just like, how am I gonna share this with people? How are people gonna view me after this? But again, coming back, pulling myself back in to say, Greg, this is more than just that. Like you say, F those people. It's so funny you say that, and I say that all the time too. People always ask me like, how do you get the confidence to shoot content in public? For me, I blank out. F everybody respectfully.
Yeah,
F everybody
respectfully.
around me, because at the end of the day, when you get home, you look at that shoot and you look at those edits and those videos, and you realize like, boy, I ain't get the shot. You can be pissed.
Yeah.
You're
yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
pissed.
Yeah.
So for me, it's literally just blocking out that noise and just doing what I have to do. But in this case, it was it was a mental buildup, and just keep talking. I just keep talking to myself through it and remembering the end goal,
Right.
and looking at an AI as well.
Yeah. So okay, hold on. Now you say that because as soon as you said it, I was thinking in my head. Okay, so what did you do? Like pictures, like images of how you would look with the full thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's funny enough because when I submitted the picture that's on the flyer, I was like, Lord, I hope these people don't think this AI. But that was actually my hair on our flyer. That was
Right,
actually my hair,
right.
because again, a lot of people that see me now the new people that are seeing me now don't know me with hair, right?
Right.
So for me, I did a lot of the AI steps, seeing the progress of the low cut, the medium, the fuzz, and then I actually now translate that on my profile pictures. So every journey, every step in this journey, I changed my profile picture so you can see
Nice.
where I at. And I'm
Nice.
using AI to help me with that. So that's been a big help, honestly.
I love
And
that.
talking to chat,
Yeah.
I don't recommend it all the time, but chat has definitely, even on the way here, chat was like, Greg, you got this.
Yeah.
Like, you got this. You've lived this.
Yeah.
So who could tell your story better than you? You know what I mean?
I totally agree, bro.
Right.
All right. So now, what's the name of the clinic? Haven.
Hiva.
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 So
Hiva Clinic.
Hiva's locked, stock, and barrel. We booked the appointment. Travel, I'm assuming, is
yeah.
already done.
Yep.
And so,
Well, yes.
So
yes.
talk me through talk me through the buildup of, all right, I booked it, and then like when did it become real? Like when did it become like, wow, I am actually here, or I'm actually doing this? Like for you, when was that?
When it became real was when I was sitting in that taxi heading to that hotel.
In Turkey.
In Turkey. One, that man was flying, and I was sitting in the back there praying, because I was like, Lord, if something happened to me, nobody know where I is. But when I got to the clinic, well, yeah, at that point, getting to the hotel and checking in, and they texted me and said, hey, your procedure is this time tomorrow, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, was mother sick? I really make it all the way over here. I about to let these people play in my head. That's when it really became real. Outside of the emotions I already had going there,
Right.
but to actually, when you were there now, it's like, boy, I about to do this. I ain't no turning back at this point. I didn't pay my money. That's when it really, really set in, and the nerves is crazy.
Right.
It was crazy.
So and I think now your I guess your doctors or your advisors, whatever. I wouldn't even say if they spoke English. How was their English?
Actually, so
Like, because I mean, Turkey
course.
don't speak English,
right. So
Turkey
what I
don't
love
speak-
about Heva, every step of the way there was a translator.
Okay,
From you walk into the door, if you move down to that stairs right there, someone translating for you.
Right.
Like, so I love that about them. So, and they did their best. Even you could tell that people who they are trying their best. So it was pretty seamless.
right.
Honestly, I had no issues with that. And they do have they have a specific translator too there that comes in the room with you while you're doing everything. But the English thing, it was an issue. It was an issue.
See, all right. So I got my dental work done in Colombia, right,
yeah.
in Cali, and for me it became real because honestly, even with the money, it was like, you pay your deposit, and then I get there, you pay everything, and for me it was like it wasn't even real then. It was real for me. It was real when I sat down. And the translator, because the same thing, I had a translator, and then you sitting down there in that chair, and then you got all these
Consultation.
doctors around,
Yep.
and they telling me open my mouth, and I was so used to keeping my mouth closed because I didn't want nobody see.
Yeah.
And they was like, open your mouth, and I was like,
Right,
and
it's
and
a
it's
time.
like it's crazy because you become so self-conscious, right?
Yeah.
And you become so insecure about
Yes.
it. Till I was there knowing that these were the people who were going to
need
help
help,
me,
yeah.
right? And I didn't even want to open my mouth.
Wow.
And literally, I had talked. I saw being stupid, right? And then I was like, but it's all those things. Like, you don't want people to judge you. It's like they there and they be like, oh my God, this is the worst case ever.
Yeah.
You're a horrible person
Yeah.
for letting yourself get like this. Like, all these things are going through your head, right? And I mean, mind you, my experience was awesome. I had same thing. I had a translator, but one of the things that was getting me was like, what are y'all saying, boy? I don't speak Spanish,
So
right? Like, so, like, yeah, the translator's there because then,
Yeah.
like when you
Yeah.
translating stuff, dude talking for like 5 minutes, and then the translator says. He just says, sit up. It's like, hold on, bro.
No,
I'm sure he say something a little bit more than that. So, like,
It's a good
so
candidate, bro.
when I asked about like the language thing, because
yeah.
I think that's also something that, because at least if everybody's speaking English, you could hear what's
Right,
going
yeah,
on, right?
yeah.
And maybe it may be better, maybe it may not be better, but it's like, for me, I was like,
Yeah.
what you're saying, but then ultimately it's like, anyway, you just kind of trust because you did your
Yeah.
research, you got
Yeah.
your, and you just trust the professionals to do what you're ultimately paying them to do, right?
Yeah, and I felt comfortable 100% of the time, and it. Now I do know exactly what you're talking about because as they were doing the procedure, I could hear the guys behind me, like they were talking, and a lot of people were coming in and out of the room, and it was just like, and everyone was saying, "You going to Turkey? You sure you got your organs?" And I'm like, "Come on!" But the thing is, it wasn't that. It was definitely that. I think I still got everything, but they made sure. Honestly, every step of the way, I was comfortable. I didn't have one moment where I felt like, oh, they don't understand what's going on. They about to F up my hairline
Right.
or whatever. And I took that time. They really took time with me in that consultation to make sure that I liked what I saw. And that's the thing what I tell people too, making sure that while you're in that consultation room, you tell them what you like.
Yeah.
You tell them what you want.
No time to play
Do
shy.
not play
yeah.
shy.
Yeah.
Pull that hair open. Do all of that. Show these people what you need because the minute they start,
Right. That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
But you went by yourself.
I went by myself.
See, now I had the benefit. My wife came with me, right?
Mhm.
And it was good because it was like kind of like she was explaining. Well, she came with me, so it was good to have that
Yeah.
person there because I
Yes.
didn't know. That was my first time in the country. The people don't speak the language. I don't speak their language, and so it was good to have. So I imagine, like, and how long were you? What was that process? So you get there. How long were you actually in Turkey, going through the treatments or whatever? And talk us through that process.
Okay, so I flew in on Friday. I flew in I landed around 5 a.m. that morning. Was able to went home, went to the hotel, took a nap, went out, explored the city a little bit. They picked me up the next morning, 8 a.m. So basically, flew in Friday, procedure Saturday, left on Sunday.
Really?
Yes.
Flew in Friday, procedure on Saturday, left on Sunday. Hold on. How long the flight is? How long
12
take you?
hours.
Boy, you go on
12
You
hours.
travel 24 hours to spend a weekend in Turkey?
I spent a weekend in Turkey. That was it.
Guys want to find something else to do.
That or pay $20K in Miami.
Mm.
So
Well, okay. I mean, because then that brings to the next question. Like, so what was the cost of if you rack up everything and then
Yeah.
are you done now or do you have to go back for like follow ups? So
completely
you're done.
Completely done.
All right. So like ballpark, what was the cost that you bought
So
for?
everything included, the flight included was $3,850. $3,850.
Flight included.
Well, yeah. Well, the flight's not included within the package.
Right, but total
the total cost was $3,850.
Boy,
So
you doing good.
the procedure was $2,600, which included
I
the
see
hotel.
my right. It's a little bit more than that, eh? Just a little bit more than that.
So that included the $2,600 included the hotel, transportation, procedure, medication, the aftercare, all that in the $2,600.
All right, solid. So now talk to me about the actual procedure itself. So you get in. What are they doing? What exactly is a hair transplant? Because I can tell you what I think it is.
Tell me what you think.
Well, what I think it is that they take hair from a place that is growing, and they put it a place where it ain't growing.
Yes.
But where did they take the hair from?
Nah. I had somebody ask me the other day. Anyway, they take the hair. Trust me. The questions I've been asked about this, but the hair comes from the back of your head, the most strongest part of your hair.
Okay.
Well, the most strongest part is the donor area. The donor area is from the back here.
Okay.
So, again, it all depends on you. So, if you ever notice when people are balding, it goes like in this. Like if a guy with like a full ball, like the middle is completely gone.
Yeah, right, and then they have that ring.
Yeah, they got that ring around there.
Right.
So this hair, the hair on the sides and the back is your strongest set of hair. So they pull it from the back, and then they just transplant it into the areas.
But what exactly are they pulling? Like when you say they
The
pull
follicles.
it,
Sorry. So they shave your head first,
right?
And they go and they grab those follicles out with a little machine. They put them in like a little tray on the side, and then they come back in and they just start sticking them in there.
Like
one by one.
One by one.
One by one.
So, like, do you know how many follicles that they transplanted?
So I did between 35 to 3,800.
What?
Follicles. Yes.
100. Boy, that's like
was
a
a
dollar
nine-
follicle.
That was a 9-hour procedure. 9 hours I spent on that table.
9 hours?
9 hours. That was honestly.
Okay, hold on, wait. Back up. All right. So now, what is your conscious state at the time? Did they give you an anesthesia?
Yes.
You was knocked out?
I was up. So it was a local anesthesia.
You were up.
But I couldn't.
No.
So
You
was
was
up.
aware.
I was aware of what's
For
happening.
9 hours,
Yes.
these dudes them plucking follicles.
So
from
the first 4 hours, I think that first 3 or 4 hours is when they plucking out. They taking their
Right.
time plucking out, and then you have like an hour break. But I took like 15 minutes to eat because I was like, I gotta get this over with. So they jump right back on in, and then that's how they started. So because the procedure is extraction first, and then you plan in. So think of like how gardening, you clear the soil. So they literally sliced this line open right here. They sliced a line into my head and planted the follicles within this area. So this line that you see here was cut
Right.
with a scalpel.
And they planned.
They planted along the sides, and
So
then
what about the dome thing?
in the crown, they just
Right,
it was
crown.
already open. So all they had to do was just insert them in. Yeah, it was. I wish I could show you all the pictures, but it's kind of graphic.
Wait,
But yeah, it was.
brother, I tell you, I ain't had no teeth. I don't think
Oh, well,
that
true.
graphic. So hold on. So okay.
Yeah.
So they're doing that.
Yeah.
They literally moved that. You're awake the entire time.
Yes.
How are you occupying your mind for 9 hours while these dudes are going to town on
Well,
This
luckily
transplant.
they had had a little TV in the
TV,
background, so
okay.
they playing like little I would say house music, and I was just thinking about everything in my life. I was
Yeah.
just thinking about when I could make more money. Why the hell I here? When it was so much going through my mind, thinking about like it was just every
Everything.
single thing you can think of, because you laying there for 9 hours, and it was uncomfortable too, to be
Right.
honest, because they prop your neck up on this they use, I can't even describe it, it's like a little pillow, not really a pillow, but they
Right.
prop your neck up, so you like you sitting up
So
like
you ain't
that,
even laying down.
you laying down, but the back of your head, because
Right,
they
it's
need to
up.
make sure, because again, right,
Right.
they already extracted these follicles from you, so you can't
can't
lay
lay
on
on it.
that, right? And then they flip you over to the side, left, right. They was kind of like throw me in the oven.
And how much people? How much people was in the room waking
Two.
up? Two.
It was two.
people.
It was two techs. But during the time, there were people coming in and out. And then the techs actually are the ones that do most of the procedure. The doctor only does the slicing and creating the hairline, which is perfectly fine with me, because I think she did a great job. But yeah, the techs do the procedure for most, because a lot of people think that the doctor is the one that does it, but no, it's really the technicians that take care of everything for you the entire time.
All right. And so now 9 hours, you do this thing. So Friday you get in, Saturday all 9 hours.
All
there.
9 hours.
And then I mean, so you're done, right? They say, all right, Greg and Brista, you're done.
Mhm.
You what happens? You go back to the hotel, really getting
Yeah.
ready to check out, and then what is going through your mind now? Now that it's done, but obviously
Yeah.
it isn't done.
Yeah.
Because now it's the recovery and I guess the growth or whatever. You could talk us through that. But now this part, the actual procedure is done. What's going through your mind now? Where are you mentally, emotionally?
I was excited. I was the last person. I closed the clinic. I was the last one in there. And when I got back to the hotel, I was dead excited. So excited I jumped on TikTok Live. So excited, because I was like, look at me, I just got to hear. I was excited about it. And because I could have already seen obviously what it was gonna look like.
Right.
So for me at that point, it's just like, how the hell I can sleep now? Because that's the biggest thing.
Right.
You can't
How
lay
did
down.
you sleep?
So like this. Like literally sitting up. I was like this, but just elevated back a little more in the bed.
Right.
They give you a neck pillow, so you just lay back on. You can't lay flat. On your
Right,
back.
because your head, you can't lay your head
So
down.
I was up. I slept sitting up.
Wow.
So it was, and actually it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad.
I guess it's kind of like when you sleep on the plane, eh? Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kinda-
it wasn't that bad. The bed was nice. I mean, when I reached back home, it was terrible, but
Right.
there it was nice. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
All right, so now you got you done with the procedure. You headed back home. Now you said you went on TikTok Live.
Yeah.
So was the plan always to kind of share your journey and share this hair transplant thing, and then at what point were you sharing? Like, were you doing like a play by play? Like, all right, guys, I'm like on TikTok Live. All right, guys, I'm headed to the
Yeah.
airport, and you kind of did play by play, or did you kind of vlog the entire thing and then share afterwards?
Vlogged and shared afterwards.
Okay.
So when I first arrived, I was on TikTok. Before the procedure, I went to the mall and I was on TikTok, and that's when there was a video of while I was on live, there was so much Turkish people came up to me and was just telling me, was so excited to see me recording content and doing all that stuff. So it was cool that I don't know, they wasn't recognize me, but I realized in Turkey, streaming is a big thing. Content creators is a big thing in Turkey. So they showed me so much love, and it was crazy. So that day happened, and then the next day after the procedure, I didn't intend to go on live, but I was like, it's just me here. I need someone to talk. I mean, I have friends, but I was like, let me go talk to my TikTok people and see what was going on. So that's what happened in that. And then when I got home, and at this time I was just compiling everything up and just waiting to just drop it, because I knew I was gonna do it. I knew I was gonna put out the content. I knew it was gonna happen, but I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I just had a bunch of videos there, but I didn't know. I didn't intend to drop it part 1, part 2, part 3. I was
Right.
just gonna drop one video, but I actually somehow just made it all into a series, which turned into this thing, So everything happened afterwards.
Oh man, I love that, man. So
Yeah.
And like I said, I really do appreciate you actually sharing that. I was genuinely interested because I remember, I think I saw it on Instagram, on TikTok, and I recognize, like I said, I recognized the name because I started following you
Yeah.
after CreatorCon last year or 2024.
That was last year.
That was last year.
Yeah, last
That's
year.
last yeah.
Yeah.
Time. I
Yeah,
don't know.
next one about to come up. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So last year, and I recognized you, and then when you was like, "Oh, my hair transplant," I was like, "Hair what?" And then I think it was a shot of you in the bathroom, and then I kind
Yeah.
of started, and then I saw one with you in the car, and you were talking, and I was like, "Wow, this is so interesting that you're sharing because you don't hear
Yeah.
about that." And so,
Yeah.
but I would say, Greg, if somebody out there may be thinking about, and whether it's hair or dental work or something, right?
Right.
There's a fellow watching this now who doesn't like how they look. They aren't confident. They're being crippled by the insecurities of self-image. I want you to give them a word, man. Like I said, I could relate.
Yeah.
I think we on the same journey, just different paths, but I think we on the same journey as far as the things that we did.
Yeah.
But there may be somebody out there, what would you tell them? They're really being crippled by their insecurities, the fear of what people may think,
Yeah.
maybe battling with, am I worth this investment? Like something that I was battling with. But like what kind of words of encouragement you got for them, man?
Love you.
Uh,
Love you first. It's about you.
Love you and F them.
F them. It's love you first. Do what makes you feel good.
Right.
Because again, I even in this whole journey now, I've had so many men, Ethan, reach out to me. So many women as well who suffer from alopecia and other things, and telling me either it's them or their partner has been going through this hair loss thing, and watching my video inspired them. I literally woke up this morning to this celebrity like that everybody know sent me a message. Hey, can you give me some details on your hair transplant? And I was like, what?
Wow.
Literally this morning. And what I feel like I've created a space in the community for men to now say, hey, I can get this done. So you
Love you.
love you and do it. Do what makes you feel happy. Do what makes you feel good.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Now, I mean, I was so like I said, I a little selfish. I don't know. I know our director was telling me I should wrap up because I think we went a little over. But do we have one question? We have time. Did we get any questions in the chat? Do we got time for maybe one or two, Mr. Director? All right. All right, I don't know. We can't. Will we be able to hear? We can't hear, right? All right. So somebody said that your content could stand on a global stage. My one good boss.
I know who that. I feel like I know who that is.
Yes, I.
I agree. Hair too big. Hair- Yeah.
Ball look cute on you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Good
Thank you.
stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, bro, I was inspired. I do believe that, like you said, we as men don't have these opportunities
yeah.
and these spaces to really just, I mean, personally, I don't like the word vulnerability, but just to share.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say vulnerability, I don't like the word vulnerability. I always think of crying, but
Yeah.
I think creating spaces where we can share without judgment is important.
Yes. Yes.
And I like to think I'm doing my part. But if somebody wants to follow you, maybe they came across the live, they came
Yeah.
across the fly, they found. Drop your socials where people can find you, man.
Yeah, so y'all can follow me, and my first and last name is Greg Umbrista on all social media platforms. All of them. Find me on there. Also, if you are interested in getting a hair transplant or know someone interested in getting a hair transplant, feel free to reach out to me. I will be more than happy to help you with that.
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys, there you have it. Another dynamic episode of EQ Live. This is live. This wasn't scripted. This is literally live in
Yep.
our studio here at Studio 124 in the beautiful Nassau, Bahamas. Every month we come and we bring you a awesome conversation with an awesome guest. And I'll be honest, it's really somebody that I admire and that I actually want to have a conversation with. And so, there you go. Words
you.
of the day is love yourself, man.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. Love yourself.
That's
And
it.
so until next time, remember, get uncomfortable and do the work because